Today we have legendary power punching heavyweight, Long Island's own Gerry Cooney, one of the hardest punchers in history. Let's get right into it. Welcome to the champ and the chump.
And who's the chump?
You.
Me. Welcome to our show, people.
There he is.
There he is.
Hey, come on, man. You guys got to be kidding me. Where'd you get that haircut, bro? Both of you guys. What the hell?
Which one?
I know, you got better hair than us.
Listen, I got a good lawyer for you, both of you guys. You got to be kidding me. I'd sue that guy.
How you doing?
Trying to look like you, big guy?
Yeah, you go.
You're the
How's
legend,
everything,
man.
fellas? I think you gotta flip it back over.
Everything's
There we
good,
go.
man.
So what's going up,
There you
Jerry
go.
Williams? What's up with you, bro? When was your last fight?
Oh, I was about 8 years ago.
Come on,
I
tell
was
me.
40.
You were 40?
I got to fight down the street and beat up some old lady right down the street. She kicked me, so I had to take her. I had to take him and them out.
Everything's all good, guys. Listen, it's nice to be with
Yeah.
you. Life is good. How's the pandemic? I'm getting. Did you get your 2 shots? No.
Hey, Gerry, can you come and put the phone a little closer to you? Is that okay?
Man, you guys are awful pushy, bro. What's the matter?
That guy, he's a Brooklyn kid. He thinks he's tough.
I'm from Manhattan. I'm from Hell's Kitchen.
I'm
I live
sorry.
in Brooklyn.
Excuse me.
Gerry, you were born in Manhattan, right?
I was born in Manhattan. I moved out when I was 2.
And you grew up on Long Island, correct?
That's right, Huntington.
Okay. Yeah, man.
And Jeremy, where are you now?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Nice, bro. Nice. Who's got it better than you?
We were Gerry, how tall are you? You 6'6" or
I'm
6'7"?
6'6", but I'm shrinking now. I'm getting old, bro. I'm shrinking.
Well, how old are you now?
I am 64.
You look good.
No, I feel great. I got a great life. I saved my money. I got a great family, and living the dream.
Do you have a gym out there in Jersey, a boxing gym?
I do have a gym, Gerry Cooney Boxing Academy.
Okay.
I'm also on Sirius XM radio twice a week for 2 hours a night.
I read that, and I read that.
Nice.
I read that you founded this. I don't know if you still do it for helping retired fighters get
You know
jobs.
what? Listen, I help people every day, but now the organization not still running.
Okay.
Because somebody we hired stole a lot of money off us, so we had to shut it
shit.
down.
That's no good.
No.
So I did a little, look up. You had a decent amateur career, right? You won the Golden Gloves as open and as a novice. Am I correct?
I 57-3 amateur career. I made it to the finals of the Olympic trials. I didn't go. I came back from Europe. I had 4 knockouts. I fought the 3rd-ranked Russian in the Garden, old heavyweight show, and I knocked the guy out in the first round, excuse me. And I made it to the finals of the Olympic trials, but I didn't go in '76 because my old man was sick and family problems, and I wound up not going through with it. So I missed that part of my life, but it's all good. Listen, I turned out okay. I'm doing great.
Yeah, man. You had a really high knockout percentage. It was 24 knockouts out of 28 wins, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so long ago, bro.
Well, you can't downplay the power because, I've heard Foreman and Holmes both say the hardest they've ever been hit is by you.
Well, listen. I could punch. Yeah, I could punch. Yeah. I think that tonight, guys, is May 11th. That's the 40th anniversary of the fight between me and Kenny Norton in Madison Square Garden. And I knocked him out in 54 seconds. That night, when I fought him, I believe I could have beat anybody in the world. But that night, I started drinking and taking drugs. That night.
Oh.
And that ended my career that night. I didn't get it at the time, but kind of got caught up with the pressure and the stress and upbringing and a lot of stories. But there's a book. There's a book out called Gentleman Gerry,
Oh,
Contender in the Ring, a Champion in Recovery. It's out now, Amazon, Barnes and Noble. You can pick it up and tell us the whole story.
what kind of book are we talking? What kind of drug are we talking about? Was it hard stuff or just like weed?
I drank scotch every day. Then, you know, and some powdered goods.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, so that Norton fight was. How old were you when you had that fight?
I was 23.
Yeah, because you know, I there's some amazing shit. Like I could imagine the pressure you were under because you know I heard this and tell me if it's true that you had Ronald Reagan had installed a phone in your dressing room to call you and congratulate you if you won against Holmes. Is that true?
Yes.
Wow.
He didn't call. He didn't call. That's all that matters, right? It was all good. I had a great night that night. I fought a great champion. I fought him tooth and nail to the end. Obviously, I got stopped in the 13th round, and he won, and I went on. And
I remember as a kid watching that fight.
But I brought that up.
I remember
that was a big one.
Fight. It was huge. It was huge.
You know, Jeremy, I couldn't get any fights. Don King owned everybody. He held me back because I wouldn't sign with him. He never gave me any fights. So I was fighting once a year in my heyday. And I fought Norton. I didn't fight for 13 months. And then I fought Holmes. But who cares? I mean, listen, it's over. It happened. I'm cool with it. And
But I guess I brought that up because you talked about the pressure and like you had this pressure from the boxing world, right? To make it. And I could imagine how that must have been real a lot.
I grew up with I had a shitty father who beat me all the time. So I didn't have much self-esteem. But once the bell rang, I had to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly all knockouts, and that was probably a big problem for me going into the fight. When I went into the fight with Holmes, I was trying to go the distance because everybody said I couldn't go the distance. So I was trying to go the distance with him instead of just going out and doing my thing. And that's lack of experience. But it's like I said, you live with it, you turn the page, and you get on with your life.
So you're saying that
very much so.
You're saying that you didn't put your foot on the gas to try and take him out because you were trying to pace yourself.
Exactly.
Wow. You know, I read, or is it true that you're naturally left-handed?
I am.
And
so I started out as a right-hand fighter. Just when I went to the gym, that's how they taught me. So that's what helped me out a lot. You know, it was I could do anything with my left hand. I had someone help me develop a right hand back in the day, but no one did. So, you know, you get certain trainers and they don't know what they're doing, and that's what goes on. But
so what was the thought, you know, and this is for people watching, young fighters, what was the thought behind fighting orthodox even though you were southpaw? Why did you decide to do that?
I was 15 and a half years old. I didn't know any better, and it was fine because I was left-handed. So my power was in my front hand. I wanted to lead with anybody. No one told me. I didn't try it. That's how I learned.
Yeah, I mean, you did something that I feel like you didn't see much back then, is you were a vicious body puncher.
Yeah, they stopped punching to the body. I don't know why. If I'm fighting Tyson Fury, it's not like maybe I'll get to the body this round. I'm gonna get to the body this round, and I'm gonna break his rib. And then I'm going to hit him on the chin. But they don't do it anymore. They're all sparring. They spar with him. They stay on the outside and try and spar with a 6'9" guy.
Yeah.
Williams, how tall are you?
6'1.5", 6'2".
Yeah. How's life treating you today?
Man, you know, my life is pretty good, to tell you the truth.
Got kids and all that?
I got kids. I got grandkids. I got a dog.
Grandkids?
Yeah.
But you say you're a young guy.
I'm 48. I'm 48 years old. I don't know how it happened. Swear to God. I woke up one day, 48. What the heck?
Jeremy, and me and Jeremy met. We were both Kevin Rooney fighters up in Catskill back in the 90s.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that where you guys are from?
No, that's no. I'm from Manhattan. He's from Long Beach, California. But we met he was training us, so we were in his camp.
Yeah, we're up in New York.
I met Mike Tyson up there when he was 13. I had a camp up there training for somebody. I don't know who it was, but that's when I first met him when he was 13. He named a white pigeon after me. And then who was to find out that my grandfather's mother was African American, so they would call me the White Hope. It was a lie.
Really?
Yeah, it's true
Black
story.
in you?
It's true story.
What part of Africa?
Oh, I don't know.
So let me ask you a question. What would you say of all your victories was the most gratifying victory you ever had in the ring?
Oh God, Jimmy Young was an easy fight. He was a very difficult guy to fight. He had won 9 fights before we fought, and he was very awkward and difficult, and he was so watching out for my left hook that I turned it into an uppercut and split him between the eyes.
Yeah.
And once I cut you, it was all over. And I got a little bit of, inexperience. I got a little too excited, and I had to slow down, and I stopped him in the 4th round. So
Yeah.
that was a really good one for me. He was nobody looked good against him. He was a cagey guy.
Mm-hmm.
So what'd you guys do from Catskill, New York? Did you go back? Where'd you guys fight out of?
Jeremy, you there? He's freezing up.
What we do?
I mean, did you fight in California or in Catskills?
Fought all over the country.
How did you get a hold of Customato, that kid?
My dad somehow got in contact with what's his bloke's name? What's his name?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Steve
the manager, Bill Caden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same
So
thing with my
he
father.
managed you guys?
He managed Jeremy. At the time, I was just an amateur. Jeremy was just turning pro. So, but yeah, it was the thing. My dad got me up there, and we left because that style, as you remember, is I feel like it only works for specific body types.
Right. I agree with you.
Yeah, and
you got to adapt to each fighter.
Right. So it was and it was a great experience. I mean, we were up there at the time. Hassim Rahman had just turned amateur. He was with us up there. Who else? Vinny Pazienza was up there.
I used to train up there with Roy Williams. You guys don't know that name. He was a tough-ass guy that...
No.
So anyway, how far did you guys get?
In terms of what?
Your careers.
I got. Go ahead, Marco.
No. Me, I had only a handful of amateur fights and the pro fights. I didn't go very far, but Jeremy, obviously. Go ahead, Jeremy. You can answer that.
I won the WBU world title. I got a couple of WBC smaller titles. I have 50 professional fights. 37, 38 knockouts.
And I'm going to for you, Jeremy. Jeremy holds the second fastest knockout in boxing, professional boxing history, 10 seconds.
Where was that?
In New Jersey, New York, somewhere in this world.
Well, listen, guys, let me tell you something. Most guys that walk away from the ring are very resentful towards boxing, and then hopefully you get over it. We like boxing kind of screwed us and all that stuff. Has that happened to you? Yeah,
definitely,
100%.
And have you got over? I mean, you had to get over it. If you're doing a podcast about boxing, you had to get over it, right?
Dude, I got over it to the point where, like I hated the career that I have, and I fought because I didn't fight because I wanted to. I fought because I was made to fight. My father made me fight. I've been boxing since I was like 8 years old, and I won everything. Amateur-wise, I won everything.
I won everything, but I never really enjoyed the sport. Personally, I really don't. I don't even watch it to this day. But I enjoy.
I don't think anybody really likes to. I don't think anybody really likes to get in the ring and fight. I mean, if the bell rings, you have to save your life. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean, there's some like Winky Wright loves it. Chris Bird loves it. Ivan Robinson loves it. Montel Griffin loves it. Jeremy Williams couldn't care less.
It doesn't like it.
I mean, those guys still love the game.
In love with the game, not just love it, in love.
But how so? They didn't save no money, did they?
Yeah, they did well, man. They did pretty good.
And they held on to it.
I believe so. I mean,
That's
you know,
a great story, and that's why they love the game still. You know, like I always knew that a rainy day was coming. I didn't know when it was going to come, how it was going to come, but I knew it was going to come, and I always put that money away and didn't touch it.
good.
And,
Very, very, very smart of you.
You know, we've talked to a lot of fighters doing this, and you'd be surprised how many of them don't have much money, and they were in so many fights for with $1 million purses, and it's the game is dirty.
well, no, listen, 99% of fighters end up broke. And
Yeah.
you want to become a champ, then you want to become a contender, then you become a sparring partner. That's the sad part about it.
Yeah.
Why do you think, in your opinion, most fighters end up broke?
Because they're not educated, and their management and their promoters don't give a shit. Because when it comes time for their careers to be over, they'll have developed new guys to put in the ring. And that's just the name of the beast. And until that changes, you can't get government involved. You got to find some way to help educate these guys so they can have a productive life after boxing and not be doing substances and getting divorced and having 10 kids and not taking care of them.
Very true, very true. But like, in that to be said, like in our boxing sport, or in our boxing business, we're taught as fighters just to fight and leave everything else to somebody else. But this new
No,
age,
not really, Jeremy.
we're
We are lazy, and we want them to take care of it for us, and they're only so happy to do it. So I don't got to worry about the bills and paying the electric and the insurance. And I remember, a buddy of mine was in real estate, and my house came up on the block to auction off because no one paid the taxes on it.
Wow.
And that's what happens because we figure, well, yeah, we deserve it. Let them handle it. And they don't have our same interests, and we're not, paying enough attention. We're not so knowledgeable about it, and so we just push it off. Don't you agree with that?
I just said, like,
You're cutting out, Jeremy.
At the end of the day, really, nobody's gonna.
He's totally cutting.
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry.
Jeremy,
Yeah, but we can't hear you, bro.
Totally cut out, man.
How rude.
It's true.
Still got zero.
But if you went to the boxing commission and asked them to explain your contract, they could explain in simple form what you signed. We don't even know what we signed back in the day.
Yeah,
Very true.
that's true. Yeah, I mean, Jerry, I think I heard that you were a promoter for a while. Is that true? After you retired?
Yeah, man, I had a great time. I put on Foreman's fight. I put on Foreman's fight. I put Duran's fights on. Yeah, I was involved in a bunch of areas. I had horses. I had minor league baseball teams. I tried a lot of stuff. Had a lot of fun.
Which Foreman fight did you do? Did you promote
I did a lot of when he was making the comeback
before you fought him or after?
before.
Oh, so did that have anything to do with why you fought him?
Yeah, he said, let's fight. And I thought, I just got sober. I just put down the alcohol and the drugs. And I was about 8 months clean. And he said, why don't we fight? And I thought, well, I never really did this sober before. Maybe I should do it. And money was good. So I took the fight. But looking back on it, I didn't have enough experience being sober to be able to handle that capacity of a thing. that level of what was going on. I needed a little more time to get my head together. And listen, he caught me with a shot, but we had a great time, and I rocked his bell a little bit. There, you heard him tell that.
You did. So?
But hey, listen, he's a great guy. He's a great champion. He's a great man. He helps people all the time. He comes on my show.
Mm-hmm.
We pray at the end.
You still talk to him?
Hell yeah.
So speaking of Foreman, is he the hardest puncher that you've ever been in there with?
My wife.
Mine too.
Yeah, Foreman was the biggest puncher.
Biggest puncher.
Okay, Gerry
Go ahead,
Cooney.
Jeremy,
What is Cooney? What is your origin of your, like? Are you Irish? Are you Italian? What are you?
Well, what's his name? From YouTube says we all bleed into one, right? We all bleed into one. Basically, I'm Irish and French Canadian.
Oh shit, that's right. Are you? Any of your family in Montreal?
My father came from Newfoundland, and no one's there. I got cousins and stuff there, and then I'm 8% African American, and
wow.
So, like I said, we all bleed into one some ways, right? There's only one God. I mean, let's face it. Everybody's talking about this God and that God. This God. At the end of the day, whatever He is one God, and He wants us all to do well.
Yeah. I feel like the fight against Spinks, to me it seemed, tell me if I'm wrong, that your head wasn't in it. It seemed like you weren't really
I was drinking and drugging all the way into the ring.
Oh.
It took 2.5 years for the fight to happen. It was on, it was off, it was on, it was off. I was drinking going into the ring. I didn't believe it was going to happen. I'd eat that fucker. I'd eat that guy alive.
I know.
On any day. I was a walking dead man.
I know. I thought that too. You seem like. Go ahead, Jeremy.
We were trying to figure out what happened in that fight because it didn't seem like it was you.
I was drinking and drugging. I wasn't taking care of myself. And the fight was on, it was off, it was on, it was off. I never believed the fight was going to happen. But anyway, it's like I made peace with all of that, and I understand it's hard for public and fans to get that, but I know the truth, and I eat him alive. On a regular fight if I'm in shape, if I'm training right, but I wasn't. And listen,
he was. So who would you say was the most skillful fighter you ever went in with?
Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes was a great champion and knew it all. He was very patient. He waited. He was, I heard him. He hit me. And he was patient enough to wait later on in the rounds. And I learned so much in losing to him that night. I don't know why we didn't have a rematch. I think that fight merited a rematch, and I think it would have been a different fight if I could have got a rematch from him. I would have paid attention.
Yeah, that should. So did you try and push for a rematch? They weren't interested, or what happened?
At the time I was fucked up, and I didn't get along with my managers. I hated Don King. I was disgusted with it between everybody, what was going on with my career, and I walked away. But had I got a shot with Holmes, a second rematch, I would have taken it in a second and been in shape.
Because you for the time being 6'6", I mean that was, I know that's common now, but that was not common back then. You were a big guy.
I was a big guy,
and
I love body punching. I love getting inside. I love working it out and making a plan, making adjustments. Those were great days and great times. As long as they last. The problem is that the window is very small.
Window
down fast. To be world class.
We lost you there for a second.
To be world class, the window shuts down. It's very small and it shuts down fast.
We can't see you right now. Something happened. I don't know if you got a call.
Me?
No, it's like just showing your eye. Did you get a call or something?
No.
Here's a question. What do you think was your best time of your professional boxing career?
Best time of my professional boxing career, Jimmy Young, Kenny Norton. I think that night I would have beat anybody in the ring that night when I fought Norton.
Real quick, do you see us, Gerry?
I see you guys, yeah.
Yeah, we don't see you at all. It's
But you can hear me, right?
yeah, we can hear you, but something happened.
Well, I'm old now. You don't got to see me, man. You can hear me now. It'll come back, I suppose. I don't know what's going
No, I
on.
think you might have to either touch something or jump out and jump back in. I don't know what's going on here. There we go.
There you
There
go.
we go.
All right.
Get it. So, what'd you ask, Jeremy? I'm sorry.
He asked me what was the best fight I had, and I think at the time then I was really prepared 100% on it.
Um, yeah, Jeremy, freezing up now. Jeremy, you're freezing up. We can't really hear you.
I had an older brother by the name of Tom, who was a very good fighter, but he also grew up in the
I
same
know.
house I did, and he left at 15 the home. He
Oh,
started training, and he went into the Golden Gloves. We did together. I was a middleweight. He was the heavyweight. He lost in the finals, and I won the middleweight title. And he went cross country and did his own thing.
was your father a fighter at all?
No, he wanted to be, but he was in the Merchant Marines, and so he used to have a spot. He put a ring together out in the backyard, and we used to box out there as kids.
We had do you know Arthur Mercanti? He's a Long Island
Yeah,
guy. Yeah,
sure.
we spoke with him. He's a friend of ours.
The referee, you mean?
Yes,
Yep.
junior though, not senior, obviously.
Yeah, well, obviously the old man's dead. I mean, if you
Yeah.
talk to him, you got to tell me about how you.
What do you know any of the other Long Island? Chris Algieri. He's a
I
Long Island.
know. Just like Chris Algieri on with us, and he's supposed to be fighting again. I don't know if he wants to, do exercise or be on TV or fight. I don't think he can, make up his mind. But he's fighting again,
Mm.
and had him on the show on Monday night. And Joe Smith is a good fight. He's got a very tough fight coming up against Beterbiev,
Mm.
but he's a
Joseph's
tough
a great
dude.
fighter.
And
Yeah.
Capabianco, the father Capabianco used to train me. Now his two kids are training Joe Smith, and he's a beast. He's a
Mm.
beast, that kid. If he can learn to shorten his punches up and get in closer, he could do a lot more damage. In my eye, his punches are way too long, and all these pros from over in Europe with big amateur careers are short punches, and they get inside, and he can't do anything that way.
I knew the fighter who unfortunately passed away, Patrick Day. Did you know him? He was a Long Island guy.
Yeah, I didn't know him personally, no.
Yeah, that
Sad
was.
story.
Yeah, it really is.
Sometimes it happens, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes you walk out in the street and you get hit by a car.
we had Ray Mancini on our podcast, who obviously had that famous fight where somebody ended up passing away, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's just it. The fight is never the same. The guy that lived is never the same again.
Yeah.
And
Well,
but
we
this is
asked.
the game we're in, and we choose it. We like it. And there's a lot more people in football that are getting CTE and
Mm-hmm.
damage and all that stuff getting hit. So listen, we have to protect ourselves. In Philadelphia, they used to all box with 10, 12-ounce gloves on, and they used to have gym wars more than in the fights. They cut that out. So
When
these guys are protecting themselves a little bit better, and their longevity is better.
when I went to Kevin Rooney's camp in Catskill, I was 15 or 16 at the time, but they would spar with no headgear. That's just how it was, and I thought that was normal. So I was in there with pros, 15, 16, no headgear.
Yeah.
Which
I gotta tell you something. I was with customer. He was crazy as a bed bug. That guy.
Cuss was?
Yeah. Did you meet him?
No, he had
Never.
passed by the time we went up there. We were up there in '92.
Yeah, I was up there early. I was up
What's
there at the training camp.
how
He was a little. One night I woke up. He was about 3 inches from my face at 3 in the morning when I was sleeping. He was looking at me. But listen, he was a great trainer. He had his way. And then, Rooney came in and the other guys came in. And listen, everyone gets their run. You know what I mean? Are you guys training anybody?
No, 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 no. Jeremy's freezing up a lot, unfortunately, but he hates boxing. Like, um, and I just work out. I still work out, but I don't really spar anymore. I just hit the bag for
Well, you
a
know,
grand.
listen, this is what we know best. You know, maybe Jeremy can train someone to take him further than he went to. Maybe he can make money. I mean, you know, it's like we can bring a guy and make him a champion. I thought about doing that for a long time, but at this age in the game, I don't want to be away from my family for months at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you miss the seasons. You know, you remember that during our career, you'd leave, it was the spring, you come back, it was snowing out. You know, those kinds of things. I got no time for that now. I'm enjoying my life. I got a little gym. I train with people. I'm on the radio. I still travel, make appearances, and I've been so lucky.
Tell me about the radio show.
You know, 12 years ago or 13 years ago, I went there to do an interview, and the president, we went into his office. He asked me if I wanted to, you know, start Monday. And I thought, can I think about it? And it's a no-brainer. I get to talk about the game I love the most. I follow the fighters, and I get to talk passionately about what I love.
Well, if you
And
ever want,
I like the guys that are fighting the crossover fights and the rap star singers and Snoopy Dogg smoking the joint and watching it. I like it.
you
It's
do?
like a, you know what it is? It's like all those kids are coming over watching our boxing, and we're going to develop some fans from them. And the MMA guys are going to come over and develop some fans from them. And it's
Right.
exciting. It's an exciting show those guys put on.
Well,
To hear
if you
De La
ever,
Hoya, did you hear De La Hoya?
yeah, he was drunk as shit.
Or stoned or whatever it was. I don't know what he was, but he was having a good time. That Snoopy Dogg has got some good stuff out
Jeremy grew up with Snoop Dogg. I think they went to the same high school together.
there. Did you ever try that stuff, Jeremy?
Nope, not me, Daddy-O. Not
Look
me.
at his tongue. Look at his nose, bro. Look at his nose. His nose is grown, bro. Look at him. He's telling stories
No,
now,
no.
bro. Yeah,
Hold on.
don't go there, bro.
One when I was 26, and another one when I was like 35, and then it's not for me. I don't. I don't like it. It's not my
Well, you know,
deal.
Jeremy, I gotta tell you, I never inhaled.
Yeah.
Well, so on your radio show, it's just fighters you bring on, or who
We
goes on?
movie stars, athletes, football players, boxers. We talk about the game, what's going on, how it's changing, and the judging, and we talk about the great fights and the great rounds,
Well,
and how exciting boxing is. I love.
Jeremy, I would love to go on if you ever have space. Keep us in mind, please.
All right, well, I'll try to get you guys. I don't know. I know I could probably get Jeremy on.
Well, whatever.
You know,
Better
I
than
mean,
nothing.
I don't know. I obviously we have a manager
Uh-huh.
and people that okay the people to come on, but
Sure.
nice show you guys got. And how long you been doing this?
We've been doing it only like 4 or 5 months, maybe, not long.
How many days a week?
Um, it depends. It depends. Usually once or twice a week, I would say.
You say you wear depends?
Jerry, I own a comedy club in Brooklyn. So maybe I should put you on stage.
Yeah. There you go, bro. I used to have my brother had a comedy club in the island, and we still used Jackie Martling, Bob Nelson, Eddie Murphy, all those guys used to
What
come.
club?
Uh,
Governors?
Cooney's East Side, um, uh, we had Cinnamons, and we had Richie Minervini had a club right there in Huntington too,
Uh,
and all those guys used to perform there. It was great fun.
yeah, for sure.
Are you
Um,
jack of all trades, master of none?
yeah, I mean, I did comedy briefly, but yeah, no, me and my wife own it. We run it. I like that better than actually
You,
performing.
It was funny you buzzed out there for a while, and Jeremy and I were saying how funny we thought you were. I'm
Jeremy,
sick.
can you hear us?
I'm
Uh,
sick,
you,
bro.
you're in a horrible, wherever you are, the reception's
Yeah, bro.
terrible.
Dude, I'm
Jeremy, let me tell you,
I'm working.
I find normally if you pay the bill, the phone works a lot better.
I'm
Did
I'm
you,
in this super suburban neighborhood, and it's just not working for me.
It sounds good now, bro.
Jerry, did you ever, was there anybody you ever sparred of like notoriety, something that stands out?
I boxed with Witherspoon, back in the
Mm-hmm.
day, a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bunch of guys that came in I boxed with. Obviously, we went through sparring partners a lot.
Mm-hmm.
People, sparring partners keep having to change. That's the expense. That's a lot of money. Flying them in, flying them out, paying them. And then after a while, when you start to get to them, they turn a little bit like dog. They want to cover up and hide. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
don't,
Yeah. Yeah. And especially when you
bro.
probably put beatings on them.
I did. I worked hard with the guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you have a gym now in Long Island
No,
and
New Jersey,
in Jersey, excuse me. And
23
that
years.
what's that?
I've been here in New Jersey for 23 years.
What made you leave Long Island and go to Jersey?
My wife made me.
That happens a lot. Yeah, I get
Now,
it.
Long Island is like a pot, man. So we moved out of there. We came here, and I've been there for 23 years. My son is 23. He just finished at Lehigh University engineer,
Oh, great.
second year, and my other son is 31.
Uh-huh.
It goes fast, bro.
They
Every time
don't.
around, it's Thursday. Oh no, it's fucking Thursday again. Oh, it's
Yeah,
Thursday. It's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
None of your boys had any interest in boxing.
My daughter and my son fight. They can fight. I trained them. I taught them how to fight. I don't want them to fight. It's a hard game. My son wanted to fight. He's a bright kid. What am I going to put him through that for? Breaking your nose, getting hit with shots you don't want to get hit with. You know how it goes, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's why I always did it kind of on and off, on and off. Because it's a tough.
Well,
What's that?
that's what happens to us. Like I found out after my career was over that Holmes never drank, never smoked, never did anything when he was fighting. I wish I would have knew that. I wish I had that
Wow,
opportunity. I was smoking cigarettes. I was drinking and partying.
Really?
How was that? That
wow,
was a real good. That was a real smart deal, wasn't it?
wow. And you said that started right around the Ken Norton fight.
12. I started drinking at 12.
Oh, but you said you started over.
You bring me on your show. You bring me on on your show. You're supposed to read my book and know about me, bro.
Apologies. I will read it after this. I guarantee you I'll read it.
Anyway, it's all good, man. Listen, I love this show. I love you guys. I remember you fighting, Jeremy. I remember you. You're a tough dude. But I want you to change your view. Change your view on the game. It's a great game. You're going to run into somebody you're going to be able to help. And
It's
then
not
you're
a
going to
game.
get that love back again.
It's not a game. It's a business. Until it becomes a
You're right.
game, then I'll stay away. But it's a business, and I'm not gonna do business with a bunch of crooks.
Well, it's never going to become a game. It's just a business. That's what it is. And if you get the guy, then you can then everything else falls into place.
It's tough. I mean, I can't. It's crazy that there's never been any kind of a union that's stuck. There's nothing that takes care of fighters. It's just crazy.
Well, they're independent contractors. The managers and the promoters are smart. They made them independent.
They separate.
What? He
Yeah,
keeps going out. But the thing is, like, it's the only. Oh,
Yeah, well, they keep you. Yeah, well, they don't want you to educate you. You don't want. They don't want you to learn too much, and
You
you feel
know,
dark.
it's the only sport though. All the other sports have sanctioning, but you have unions have the only one, and it makes generates so much money.
Listen, here's the story, right? If you took $1 from every ticket sold in boxing around the world and put it into a fund, that's all the problems. Everybody would get well. Every fighter would be happy,
Yeah,
but they don't want to do it. I tried to get it done. We went to Washington. We tried, but it's just not going to happen.
you tried to pat. They tried to do it federally,
Yeah, we tried to
and
do it federally. We tried to do it, just get $1 from every ticket sold and put it in the foundation in a fund and have someone work for the foundation and divvy the money out. You have a board and you sit around and you talk about the fighters.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? But
and they just didn't want to do it, huh?
no, they don't want to do it. But listen, it's still a great game. And I educate, tell the fighters, learn all you can about what you're doing, what you're signing. Go to the boxing promoter, go to the boxing commission, and ask them to go over your contract with you, so you know what you sign, what you're going to sign before you sign it.
Well, what did you think about, assuming you saw this fight Saturday, about the fight where Billy Joe Saunders basically retired on his stool? What'd you think about that?
I thought he's a tough guy. He never quit, and I think that he broke his bone, and he couldn't see out of his eye. And I think the corner was right in calling the fight. He wasn't a quitter. That was a tough. He's a dog fighter. That guy. He fights. He's a tough kid.
Uh-huh.
Hurt him. And the first time he grabbed Canelo, the fight was over because he had broke his eye bone, whatever he did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that happens. Right? It happens to people. I've broken orbit bones in people.
Have you? Yeah.
It's the little bone underneath the eye. It's so little, and I broke the bone. The eye closes right up on you. Sometimes it happens.
They're saying now that he might not fight again, that it's a real serious injury.
And it could be. And he made a lot of money, hopefully, in that fight. And Canelo moves on. Listen, Canelo, I think, has an easy shot with Demetrius Andrade. I think the Charlo brothers going to give him a little bit of trouble. And I think his real fight is with Beterbiev at 175.
Mm, that's interesting. I mean, there-
Before he came into 168, Canelo, 168 sucked. All of a sudden, all these people came up to 168 because they wanted to get that money.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of people were criticizing Saunders for quitting, which I thought was crazy, but a lot of people were criticizing him.
Yeah, well, I hear that, but let them get their fat asses in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Let them take them shots and see what they do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's the deal. And Saunders was never known as a quitter. In fact, he's a dog fighter. He's a tough guy. And Canelo took it to him. Canelo broke him up.
Yeah.
Canelo was patient. Saunders won some rounds, and then he started to pick up momentum. And he started
Canelo's
landing them body shots.
Canelo's power is freakish. He got there's the theories floating around that he juices, he does steroids because he got caught and he's so freakish power. I mean, do you think there's any truth?
I think he may have tried them, and I don't think he dare go near them again. To mess up his reputation. I don't think he go near it. I don't think he needs it. He's got a great condition coach. He's got a great, personal feeds him. He's got great teachers, and he's smart.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fought everybody. Listen, when he fought Lara, remember Lara?
Yeah.
Very tough dude. Those kinds of guys, he fought them all coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, he's by far the best fighter in the world, pound for pound, I would say right now.
Listen, I can't wait to see Joshua. Let me tell you, Joshua and Fury.
Mm-hmm.
I
think.
mean,
What do you think? What do you think happens in that fight?
you know what? I think that Fury can faint him to death, just like he did with Klitschko,
Mm-hmm.
just like what he did with Wilder. Hey, listen, what do you think about Wilder?
I
Jeremy?
think Jeremy's gone. He something he went out. I don't know. His reception's so bad. Hopefully he'll come back in a second.
What do you think about about Wilder
Curious.
not standing up, not creating a voice.
What do you mean not creating a voice?
You know, after he lost to Fury, he had a contract to fight a third time. No one
Oh,
ever heard from him. No, he didn't fight for his right.
I don't
And so they
think
stuck. What?
I don't think that was his fault. I think he was trying to get the fight, but Fury didn't want to do it. I
I
think.
never heard from Wilder after he lost to Fury that way. He didn't stand up and said, "I'm coming back. I got new trainers. I'm learning more tools. I'm going to figure this out." We never heard that.
Mm.
All he did was complaining about Mark Breland.
Yeah, which was terrible. I mean, like, so there's a question. I mean, the stuff that came out of his mouth after he lost was crazy. But then you think about it, if you're undefeated and you're knocking everybody out and you finally lose, there must be something psychologically there where you just can't process it and you, right?
He cried out. He cried out. And he
Mm-hmm.
said some stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
So he was immature.
Mm-hmm.
Learned a lot from that thing, and hopefully we'll see him back. I think he's going to have the hard road coming back. He's going to have to fight real guys.
He's
Yeah.
fighting. He's training with Malik Scott now.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't hear that. But he's got to get somebody in there who's going to teach him. He's a puncher. Malik Scott's a boxer. He's got to get inside and fight.
Yeah.
A little more, in my estimation. But that's my.
I
I
agree.
mean, I think Fury beats all of them.
I think Fury's he's so awkward. I saw Fury in the Garden get dropped by Stevie Cunningham, who was a light heavyweight who couldn't punch.
Mm-hmm.
How does Wilder in 12 rounds not catch him on the chin one time?
You know, I think this version of Fury, the one that we just saw against Wilder, I don't think anybody beats him when he just sits down and on his punches and comes forward. How are you going to beat him?
Well, you saw him when what's his name, Dillian White knocked him out in the sparring camp, right?
Knocked out who?
Dillian White knocked out Fury.
No, I didn't see that. Was there a video of that?
Yeah, on
No,
YouTube.
no.
Man, you guys got to do your work. Come on, man. Hey, Jeremy, you got to talk to this guy, bro.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the boxing guy.
Jeremy doesn't know shit about current boxing. He doesn't follow.
I do. I know that there's like a champion somewhere doing something.
Yeah, but you guys got a nice little gig here. I'd pay attention to it if I were you guys.
Yeah, no, I do. I'd never heard of Fury getting dropped. I didn't hear about that, but maybe it was a while back.
Stevie Cunningham dropped him in the Garden.
Oh no, that I know. That I know. Yeah. You said Dillian White in sparring.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that I didn't. That I didn't know.
Yeah. So,
everybody goes down. I mean, have you ever been down in sparring?
No.
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 Okay. Well, almost everybody goes down.
And I love to see the welterweight division get it on. I love to see the light heavyweight division get it on. Now they're coming out with some bridge weight, which is between cruiserweight and heavyweight.
Yeah, I heard about that. Do you like that?
So many great things in the game right now. And the UFC took over for a while, but boxing is back on top.
I don't know. I mean, I actually don't think that's true. I wish it would be, but I feel like
obviously I agree with you. You don't know. Told you.
So you really what determines what's back on top? How much money it generates? What?
The fights that are there that are going to be cut rear and face. You think about Errol Spence and
Crawford.
You think about that Spanish kid now is in the welterweight division. It's tough. All the divisions are tough. The lightweight division. You got this fight this next weekend is coming on. That kid from Nebraska is fighting that Irish kid. Guys,
which Irish kid?
It's a big fight coming up next week.
Nebraska? Who? Crawford?
No, not Crawford. It's the Spanish kid who who who,
Benavides?
who Aram has him. No, he's a small kid. He's 126, 125 pounds, and he's fighting that Irish kid from Ireland. I don't know. You have to look it up, but there's great fights coming up, bro.
Yeah, no, there are. I mean, I'm looking forward. So, hey, let me ask you this: what do you think about the legends? You know, Tyson, Roy Jones, and all these fights that are coming up.
Listen, Roy Jones fought Tyson. Roy Jones got fresh with him, and Tyson slapped him into place. I think Tyson fighting um, uh, Lennox Lewis is crazy. I think Tyson boxing Holyfield is crazy because those guys got his number.
Well,
They-
as you know better than anybody, right? When your mind is right, when you're not, Tyson was big on drugs. Maybe now he could do better.
He has a marijuana web page or something.
He does. He
He
does.
smokes dope over there. Listen, he's a great guy. I'm glad he straightened his life out. He lost a child. He's
Hmm.
kind of cleaned up his area. He's doing good things. I like him. I like what he's doing. He was a great fighter for the moment.
Yeah, he
That I
was.
agree. Yeah.
He was great for people don't realize he was invincible for only about 3 or 4 years. And then, but I think it was the speed and the power and the persona he had really just attracted people.
You know what happened? Tony Tucker hit him with a right hand and hurt him. Or Bone Crusher Smith. One of those two guys rocked him. And then he
Uh-huh.
wasn't Superman anymore. And they found him out. So listen, if you're not taking care of yourself and you're not training right and preparing yourself, the motor is not running right. And somewhere down the line, it's going to catch up with you. And that's what happens.
That's true. That's
True.
true.
And now these guys are 54, 55, 56. I mean, you come on. Sometimes, you can take a shot in the head and disrupt your veins in your eyes. You could go blind. You got to be careful now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
For sure.
But it's a great game, and they're paying attention to it, and the judging is still, on trial. We need to get ex-fighters, train them. They know what's going on in there. Train them how to fight. Be objective. If you're a puncher, you got to learn how to watch the boxer, and you got to be able to score clean. And those are the people that should be judging. They know the game. They've been in the game. They've watched it. They've felt it. They've
Mm-hmm.
seen it. Let them make some money. They'll give us better judging, better scoring than those guys out there that are retired lawyers and all that shit. That are
Jer-
giving us. Go ahead.
Jeremy, would you ever train somebody? No, right?
No,
You would
no,
never train a fighter?
no. And
If you
my
found the magic guy, Jeremy, if you found the guy who had that look in his eye, that magical look in his eye, and could adapt quickly, you would love it because you could relive your own career. Except you could help him with his pitfalls.
live my career. Look, I could look. And hear me, cool. If you know, well, I'm a natural. I know how to do this. Like I don't. It doesn't take me long to learn any of this stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
can. When you're natural, it's hard to teach because it comes so easy to you, and you can't understand why it comes so hard for other people.
It's
Well,
true.
not the guy that has that magic look in his eye. That special guy is out there. The Roy
Man,
Jones is out
sprinkle
there.
fairy dust on his ass wouldn't make a difference to me.
What's that?
You can sprinkle fairy dust on him. I wouldn't make a difference to me.
Oh man, you better you got to start reading some books about liking yourself more because you're being very mean to yourself, bro.
He hates boxing.
Boxing
Man,
was great for you. Boxing did great for you. Look at you.
yeah, but what about if I would have done something else that I really wanted to do, that I wanted to do, not was made to do?
If
Mm-hmm.
you were supposed to, you would have done it.
No, I was brainwashed by my father from a very young age, and then once I got to the adult type age or young adult type, I was really good, and I had no other choice. I mean, I'm not a great student at this. I was time so easiest road because is why I've been doing it my whole life.
True. Well, I'm sorry for you for that, but you can still take the steps and go do that.
I
Oh,
think
Follow
yeah,
you,
I'm good.
I think doing the podcast now, I think is helping them kind of.
Jeremy. Do you have enough money?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you have enough money?
Yeah. Do I have enough? No. Do I have money? Yes.
All right. Well, let's protect it. And
Jeremy owns a very successful security business,
great.
so
Find your passion, brother.
My
Find out what.
passion, my passion is, you know what? Happiness. I want to be happy. And for me, being happy is working and building a business that I want to do.
hmm
I love my business. I love working it. I love doing it. I love the people that work with me and for me. You know, to me, it's like today I spent 4.5 hours today in a meeting, and it's totally positive. Everything was just going exactly the way I wanted it to go.
Jeremy, when I first stopped drinking, I took an aptitude speak, and these guys in prison, they're from doing drugs and drinking, they're robbing people and murdering people. Take it out. Just find out what you like, what you're
I
good
like,
at. You know what I mean?
yeah, I like creating. I like creating things, and so I created my business from zero,
Nice.
and we do pretty damn good these days. So I can't complain.
You also
It
got,
took me 10 years to build it, but I did it. You know.
you also got personality. You got a good look. So you got a lot
I,
of corner. So that's all in your favor. Build on that.
I have, and I will, and I am. I'm not.
yeah, I felt like for me the reason why I couldn't buckle down and do boxing full time was I felt like I was only good when I was angry, right? And I wasn't always angry. And I felt like for me to be successful in the ring and to want to fight, I had to have that fire. You know what I mean? And I think any human being who is consistently, constantly angry and has that fire, it's also not a good balance. And there's some
Listen,
fucking
bro,
things going on.
game. You can't get mad. You have to get even. When you take a shot, you got to smile and say, "Okay, motherfucker, I'm getting you back." That's the game. You can't get mad in the ring.
But it's a draining. I mean, isn't boxing a very draining thing? You know, your adrenaline. It's very emotionally draining. Am I wrong?
Listen, you have a certain amount of time to be in the fight game. If you have the skill to become a fighter, you're magical for a little window, a little piece of period of time. And you got to really pay attention to that and work hard at it. But it goes away. And when it does, you go, well, you got to get out. But most people don't because they want the roar of the crowd. They still want to feel that adulation when you come out of the stadium. And unfortunately, those people, they love you, but someone else is coming along after you. And they
Yeah.
forget about you.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
I guess what I'm saying is for me, I had to be mean, and when I was mean, I loved fighting. But when I wasn't feeling mean, I didn't love fighting.
I would have loved to fought you when you was mean, bro.
I'm,
you're the
I'm only 165. It would have been
Right,
a mismatch.
right, bro?
Huh?
you're the
Would you like
biggest.
me when he was mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, but he's not mean that often.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jeremy, you gotta help out me a little bit, bro. I'm gonna get you out of that shit, bro. You're gonna love this game. You're a
Yeah,
great ambassador for the game.
I, I
But
understand.
follow your dream.
I respect it, but I don't have an admiration for it.
Jeremy, I never won the title. I got to be ranked number one. I made good money. I never got to be the champ. Do you know I'm 64 years old? I'm still busy almost every day of the week in this game. People reaching out for me to help them or to make appearances and, those kinds of things every day of my life.
Beautiful.
And
That's
that's
beautiful. I walked away and never looked back
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's all good. Well, then why are you doing this podcast?
because I enjoy entertainment.
Yeah.
You, I entertaining you right now, bro?
You're
Yes.
entertaining.
There's a big difference between fighting and talking about it. You know what I mean? And um, Jeremy. People don't
You're
realize Jeremy had over 300 amateur fights. He was ranked. He was an amateur Hall of Fame. He was as big as it can get as an amateur as well.
Jeremy, your greatest moment in fighting?
Oh, when I beat the Russian that beat me 3 months before
Wow.
As an amateur.
as an
Yeah,
amateur.
man, I tell you what, I was drinking and partying, and I came back from Europe, and they told me to stay in shape, that I had the third-ranked Russian heavyweight champ, and I didn't, and I had 6 days to train, and I
Oof.
knocked him first round, thank God, because he'd have killed me in the next round.
Yeah, they're tough.
I mean,
They
I got
are.
this.
My greatest achievement was when I won runner-up in the Adirondack Golden Gloves. Thank you.
You know, I was in with a friend of mine who had his high school number retired basketball, and I'm at the Knicks arena, and we open up the elevator, and Charles Oakley was there with God, the center. What was the center's name? And they were,
Ewing?
huh?
Ewing?
And they're all in the elevator. I said, listen, this is my friend. He got his high school number retired up on the ceiling. And they looked at him and said, yeah. Yeah. It was so funny, bro. Anyway, listen, man, I'll tell you what, bro. We gotta party a little more than this, guys. And I'm sober. I've not
Yeah,
drank 33 years, bro.
good for
Beautiful.
you. That's great.
Yeah, I saved a lot of money, bro.
Well, Jerry, man, it was fun talking to you. Let's do this again soon.
I'll never talk to you guys again. Don't even look at me. No, come on anytime. Let's talk the fights anytime you want, okay?
We'll do it. Yeah, I'll definitely hit you up. We'll do it again.
Jeremy, it's nice to meet you, brother. And you too.
Thank you, sir.
All
Good
right?
talking to
Okay.
you guys.
You guys,
Peace.
baby. Bye now.